Hi class, I wanted to go over some homework problems in Module 2, Lesson 2, show you how to do those in StatCrunch. This lesson is on graphing, and so we're looking at, again, descriptive statistics. How do we describe the data? And different graphs have different advantages and disadvantages to describe the data. So I want to go through this with you just quickly. All right. The first thing here is the stem and leaf plot. All right. The stem and leaf plot has a stem on this side, and then you're going to type in the leaves over here. So, for example, this 30 would be represented by the 3, and then you would put a 0 in this place here. But I'm going to show you how to build this in StatCrunch. All right. So to pull StatCrunch up, just click on the little rectangle. And then, so there's your data. And then go to graph. Most of the problems in this section will just have the same procedure. Go to graph, find the plot that you want. So stem and leaves right here. And bring your data. Let me show you a little bit. So this data is in this column here, variable 1. All right, and we're just not going to use any outlier trimming. So there's our stem and leaf plot right there. All right, so when StatCrunch breaks up the numbers like this, like on this side there's only 1, 3, and over here there's 2. Well, this lower stem has numbers 0 to 4, so that 0 there represents 30. All right, the 2's, there's 2 2's, that means there's the stem of 3 and then 2 2's, so 32, 32. And there's one right there. There's one here and there's one there. Okay, those two are represented here. And so there you've got a general shape of the distribution. When you plug in the numbers, grab these numbers and then add these to it to put in this place right here, and that will give you your final answer. So the great thing about a stem and leaf plot is it does show the distribution. It shows you the actual data values, which is nice, right? You can see that in here, unlike a histogram, right? That doesn't show you the actual data values. The drawback is, what if you have 1,000 data points? Well, that's not going to be practical. So I wouldn't use the stem and leaf for large numbers or a large number of data points. All right, so the next one we're going to look at is a dot plot. All right, this one is the dot plot. So basically, you just plot these numbers here in your data set on a number line, and so you can see the shape of the data here. So again, we'll pull it up in StatCrunch. And graph, dot plot, pick your variable, and just hit compute. All right, so here's our data. The neat thing about a dot plot is you can see right away, you can see, oh, there's a gap here. You can see where the data might be clustered, and you might see an outlier. So those things, you see clusters and gaps and outliers, dot plots are really good for that. All right, so let's let you finish that one. Let's try this next one here. Okay, this is a scatter plot, all right? When do you use a scatter plot? Well, it's when your data points actually have 2 values. Like this value has, this data point, maybe we'll choose this one. This data point has 2 values. It has one down here, 45, and it also has one over here, like 19, maybe it's 18.7 or something. These data points are ordered pairs. There's 2 numbers in each data set. Right? And the first number refers to the hours, and the second one refers to the hourly wage. And if I want to know the relationship between 2 variables, then I could do a scatter plot. So we're going to pull the data up here, open the data in StatCrunch, and we'll go graph, scatter plot. All right, then we're going to pick hours and hourly wage, and just hit compute. Okay, so this is showing the relationship between hours and hourly wage. right? And from this graph, it doesn't look like there is much of a relationship. Okay, so anyway, that's a scatter plot. And finally, let's look at, I think it's this one. Okay, so now we have also an ordered pair of data, but one of them this time is an interval of time. All right, so when you have that, that's called a time series, and it's essentially the same thing as a scatter plot, but the x-axis is regular intervals of time. So we're going to go graph, and then scatter plot here, and just pick the time on the x-axis and then degrees on the y-axis. All right, so here we go. This is our relationship. So that's a positive relationship. As the years get larger, the number of degrees gets larger, like as time goes forward, you might say. Okay, so that's a time series. Those are just a few of the charts that we look at in Module 2, Lesson 2. And I thought I would just kind of show you on StatCrunch how to get your homework done with that. So I hope that helped you out.